It's 10 o'clock.
Good morning. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are doing well today. It's still cold out there, but it is not quite as windy as it was yesterday. So, looking ahead, we're going to see some warmer weather. See some of that snow melt. I'm going to check out my stream here to see what is going on with my stream on LinkedIn. Make sure that you guys can catch me everywhere. Looks like I'm good to go. And I want to double check on YouTube as well. Check out my stream here to see. Good there too. Okay. Thank you all for joining me today. Appreciate you spending time with me and following along on this journey. I'm building 52 apps in 2026. Right now, I'm working with Lovable. It's been a coding partner of mine for several months now, and I'm enjoying building and learning and growing and sharing with you all. If you're new to this, my name is Will Melton. This is Vibe Coding Live with Will Melton. You can visit studio.willmelton.com to follow along. You can subscribe on YouTube, follow me on LinkedIn or on Twitch, or you can watch live on studio.willmelton.com. You can also sign up to join our referral program and connect us to buyers and investors for these applications that I'm building. I'll have some new developments on this in the coming week where we will extend the ability for our participants to actually refer people to our individual products and track those referrals through the same portal and receive affiliate commissions for those referrals. So that is going to be coming up hopefully next week. I'll have that implemented. But for now, check out what we've been building. Today, we're going to be working on one specific application. We're going to be working on sound rewrite. If you were here with me yesterday, I do go live on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday at 10 a.m., and Monday is my show and tell at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll go live every week as long as I'm not out of town or committed elsewhere. And this week, I'll be talking about an application that we built called discoveraio.com. This is a membership community for people who want to learn how to be better at appearing in large language models when people search for things related to what they do. We've built a course there to help people learn. We have a membership program. We've got some great content. We have a community manager, Gary Callis Jr., who is driving the ship over there. Thanks, Gary, if you're listening, for your leadership. And we are going to continue on with that, but that's going to be Monday, tomorrow, 5:30. Join me to see that. And let's go ahead and get into it. Sound Rewrite is the application that is helping me to finish my book. Watch yesterday's stream. You can catch all of the streams on studio.willmelton.com. But let me get over and share my screen so that I can show you guys what it is that I'm working on here. So on the left-hand side, I am looking at my Lovable chat window where I can talk to AI and ask for different things. And on the right is the workspace that I've been working to build. And so I have a few things that I'm going to do today to get us over the hump. Yesterday, I was working on wiring everything up, but I'm going to go ahead and just talk to this application and give it my work plan so that it knows what I'm aiming to do today. I need to create a work plan that gets us to the finish line in the next 50 minutes. And we've already connected to Stripe, so we're going to have to do some test transactions today. I do have live mode enabled. I don't know if it's toggled on yet, but we need to make sure that that is the case. We'll have to do a final security check. We will need to make sure that our roadmap is completed and to our satisfaction. I might do a little bit to clean up this workspace because it is a little bit heavy with action items. And that might be okay, but I want to think a little bit about some things that we can do to make that a little bit more manageable. And let's see. What I also want to do is push the audio files for Finally Finish Your Book Using Sound Rewrite to our sample deployer so that other users can listen to those audio files and hear the entire book. And we need to do the same thing with the other sample project that we have, the sample manuscript for the Gift of the Magi. Once we do those things, we should be in pretty good shape to begin inviting users onto the platform. So we'll need to make sure that we test what that user experience looks like. And we'll want to also test what it's like to invite a co-author or coach or somebody else to the platform. And I think for now that probably gets us pretty close. You might want to make some suggestions for some other things that we would consider. But for now, let's not do any work. Let's just memorialize that plan, please. I feel like the dashboard is still a little bit I'll say overwhelming. There's a lot going on here, and it doesn't really invite action. So what I want to do here is separate the usage into individual cards. AI analysis is one card, transcription is one card, TTS credits is another card. And then maybe we can have, I think the TTS credits actually looks pretty good. So maybe we can replicate that. And maybe there's another card that we can put in there. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't really matter. But I think that the new project and the sample buttons need to kind of be on the right-hand side and stand out a little bit. I didn't even see the sample button myself because it's kind of squished in together with everything else. Maybe the 4 active projects and total words is the 4th card so that we can have balance there. And then the last thing that I want to do here is I want to put a resume play button on the project cards so that you don't actually have to click into the player to begin playing and listening. The play button will take you into the player and resume playing from where you left off. But that will be a quick action that will help people. Everything we want to do is about making it super easy for people to use this and to very easily get into action there. All right. So, if you're joining me live today, feel free to ask any questions. I'm happy to share anything that you wish to know, if I can, anyway. If you have any ideas of something that you'd like me to build, I don't mind doing something here on the side while we're working on this project. I could jump around and build on some other things that I'm working on, but since I'm in launch mode today, I want to make sure that I'm focused on launch mode. So there's a plan.md file for the plan that I just prompted. I'll take a look at that while I push this dashboard edit up. I still want to go back to that. Details, plan MD. Okay. Yesterday I had a little bit of trouble getting Google Analytics wired up, but that is functioning today. So looks like there have been a couple of people who've been on this site. The website is soundrewrite.com if you are interested. And we'll be able to get you in here as a trial user today so you can begin to experience what your book sounds like. And I want to, what I'm going to do here after this is finished is I'm going to actually have, uh, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to, well, we'll let this finish editing, but I'm going to have to generate a little bit of audio for one of the samples that I have so that we can actually push our sample audio up to the sample deployer, meaning, let's see, when I hit sample right here, uh, this will actually deploy the latest copy of the book. I did make some edits to it. In case you're wondering, I did write, finally finish your book using Sound Rewrite using AI, and I did it's pretty cool. I did review it briefly, and I had it extract all the facts that it wanted to share to make sure that what I'm sharing there is genuine, factual information, and made some edits to that to make sure that I wasn't fabricating stories. But in any event, this will be mediocre at best, but I do think it's worth a listen if you're an author who's interested in how this platform works. This will show you just kind of the barriers to finishing a book, as well as the ways, the 29 different features inside of Sound Rewrite that will help you to get there. So I just want people to be able to experience this for themselves and then make sure that we are, encouraging use, giving people the opportunity to appreciate what this can do for them and hopefully make it a little sticky so that they come in and work on their book. I think if I've done my job, then everybody should be making progress and hopefully finishing books and getting them up there. So, what I want to do is one quick change here to okay. So, I want to have you walk me through the execution of the launch plan with you taking the steps that you can take and then prompting me to take the steps that I need to take so that we can get this done. I'm keeping a note tab open on another screen because I want to just remember a couple of things. I'm going to move your writing card to the rightmost. I'm sorry, the leftmost column. let's see. As I think through this, I just wanted to, now that I have access to the dashboard again, I can come in here to this book and generate all 5 paragraphs. I did put this in here. If you're following along this build, I added a thing here where anytime you go to generate audio, it's going to tell you what the credit usage is going to be for your conversion. So that's something I put in there just to make sure that. Oh, this is a sample project. Okay. We set a prohibition on the sample projects to prevent users from generating audio and expending dollars there. But I need to generate the first chapter. I need to use the generation tool to generate the audio for the first chapter of the Gift of the Magi so that I can use that for the sample deployment. And then I recognize that part of our work plan here is to convert the finish your book project into a proper sample and make sure that once it's done, when it's deployed, it's also locked similar to the Gift of the Magi, so that we're not burning through credits there. I also asked earlier about why the titles say no TTS, and when I hit generate audio, I still can't generate the audio for those. There's no way to do that. That doesn't compute. I think the reader needs to listen to the titles. All right. I'm going to do that, and then I will come back to testing. All right. I didn't do anything after I signed off yesterday. I had some events to go to, and so this morning I worked a little bit to get this book up and working, and just kind of thinking through the idea of giving people some samples to be able to work with, and just experience the application as if what the finished book looks like. And there's a lot of encouraging language in this book as well to kind of get people aligned with the opportunity to use this to get where they want to go. And the reality here is once I finish this and we go live, I'll actually need to start being a real user of it so that I can finish my book. And here's what I'll tell you: I am close. I have the volume that I need, but I've been listening back to my book and recognize that I need to make some edits, and I've been placing those edits. I actually have one refinement that I need to make on the play resumption after leaving notes is a little bumpy, so I want to fix that now that I think about it. In any event, let me just click generate here so that I can. Okay, so it's going to work through that. And in any event, my book coach and I met on Friday, and my homework between now and the next time that we meet, which will be a couple of weeks, is to actually finish 6 stories that I have prompts for that will work their way into the book, and then begin to identify the actual the sorting of the stories. So I'll take you into my book right now so that you can see what I'm talking about. I have, that's not the one, this one here. I have all these chapters that are associated with 2 different parts of the book. The parts might be broken down into no parts at all. I might add additional parts, I'm not sure. But I have all these stories and 6 more that are not, some of them are short, some of them are lengthier. And then my work is to be able to identify which areas of the book these are going to best fit into. And then I have to start using my analysis features to flag chapters and sections for sorting and arrangement. So that will be the thing that I've been procrastinating, but I might make a couple of refinements to this application as I go through that process and really learn what the fastest ways to work are. But some things that we've done here yesterday is I can search chapters, so I can just type chapter 5. Oh, there's no chapter 5. How about that? Okay, we'll figure that out later. Um, 6. Yeah, okay. So you can move sections. I'm not going to do that right now, but you can move these little paragraphs around. If you didn't see this, you can collapse everything so that you can just see a very brief section, and that makes for easier sorting here. If you're aware of what the contents of those paragraphs are, which you probably do since you wrote them and you've been listening. And let's see. While that is happening, I'm going to just go over to soundrewrite.com and make sure that I can log in. Okay, good there. Accept all the cookies. This isn't the latest version. I haven't pushed yet, but I do want to. Well, I'm not going to be able to do this because I haven't pushed yet. Let me let this finish generating all these audio clips. There's 93 of them, so it'll take a little bit of time to get through it. Earlier, I indicated to you that when I click the Generate Audio button at the top of the workspace, I do not want it to regenerate audio that has already been generated. I was explicit in that request. Okay, all right, I figured out what I did here. So I'm going to go take a look over here at 11 Labs. Actually, no, I think I can look at it inside of this. So I just started generating the audio for the remaining chapters of my main book. And I don't think I have a way to stop that audio generation from happening, although it looks like it might have just stopped itself anyway. Let me just see. Yeah, it does appear that it has stopped. Um, and it might be because I ran out of credits but there was no warning. So let me talk to this. I went to generate the audio for my Survival to Significance book, and it stopped in the middle of generating that audio somewhere in chapter two. Uh, it didn't say why it stopped. It just I just stopped seeing the toast notifications. I suspect it's because my user account has run out of credits, but I'm not aware of that, and I didn't get a notification saying that that's what happened. And then the other thing is, I kind of feel like it would be appropriate to show people how many uh, audio generation credits they have available uh, when they start to generate audio, so that they know that they might run out. And or maybe we can just prompt them to say that they're not going to be able to generate the full audio if they don't top up, giving them the opportunity to top up their audio generation credits. And I feel like that can also happen if for some reason the estimate is missed and it gets to a stopping point and they run out of credits. There should be a way for us to prompt them to top up credits. We don't want people to get stuck anywhere. We want them to have a smooth use of the application, and we want them to be able to have no barriers to completing what they're working on. And we want to be able to generate revenue. So that's a good thing too. To confirm, I was able to generate audio for the Gift of the Magi as I intended to. So I didn't run out of credits. Another thing that I want to ensure that we have strict enforcement of is credit usage. I I would have to go back and look at the recording, but I do believe that the TTS credits have not uh, moved. The count hasn't moved for me, even though I generated a good bit of audio uh, for one of the books. I cannot have any leakage when it comes to audio generation credits. We have to have 100% accountability. All right. Well, if you're joining me for the first time, my name is Will Melton. I am building 52 apps in 2026, and I'm using Lovable to build those apps right now. There are other applications like this, but this one's been my application of choice. Okay, this looks good. So, in any event, I'm finishing an app today. The next 30 minutes, we'll be going live with this. Got a couple of small things to tackle, and then we're going to be rocking and rolling. You'll be able to create an account, and there will be a free option. And you can also sign up for a trial so that you can listen to your manuscript, which is a big feature that this application promises, is to reduce the need to reread the book that you're writing. It's much easier to catch redundancies and errors and problems if you're listening to it versus reading it, because you've written it and you've read it over and over again. So it's just a new way to consume your own text and be able to get through listening to it, which is a necessary part of the editing process. You also have the opportunity to bring in your co-authors and your coaches and your editors and your publishers all into the same interface so that you can work together on the book. But if you haven't yet been to studio.willmelton.com, this is another application that is a website, but it's much more than that. It is pulling in my live streams. It is connecting them to the applications that I'm building. It's pulling in the applications that I'm building. It's showing the future roadmap in a live API format. And everything you see here was built with Lovable. So here's my live session right now. I know this was yesterday. And there's the gallery that shows all the apps. Learn a little bit more about what I'm working on, and you can also learn about our referral program. This will expand in the coming days as we'll have a way for you to refer people to the individual applications that we're building. Our studio is going to be open in a short order if you're here in Richmond, so we want to make sure that we give people some scratch for sending folks our way. We want to make it easier to make that operational and profitable and sustainable. And then Discover AIO as another application that's live in the wild. It's something that people can sign up for. Sound Rewrite will be live today. So check out studio.willmelton.com to learn more about all that I'm building and follow along the journey. I'm just reviewing this feedback from my previous prompt. Okay. I noticed when pausing the audio to add a new note, when I went to resume the audio, it would not resume. The entire UI froze and I had to refresh the screen. Right now, I am looking in the dashboard and I do not see a place where the user can manage their subscription, see their transactions or their TTS usage. So I want to, I do see in the settings where they have a subscription area, but it just takes them to front end page, which is not what I want to see. I want the pricing for the front end to be brought over into the dashboard where they can actually manage their subscription right in this place. But I think we need to have billing as a separate item. So move subscription to the billing tab in the left-hand navigation. And tell me about any other. Oh, I wasn't even hitting that button. All right, so I noticed we don't have a billing tab in the left-hand navigation for users. I want to add that and move the subscription management over into that new tab. I also noticed that the upgrade button just takes users to the front end where they can upgrade their plan by selecting the right This is okay, but I am, let's see, I want to show more information about the plan that's selected inside of the dashboard so that the user is just a bit more informed. And I also would like to have you inform me about any potentially missing sections of the dashboard that a user might expect to see when they log in. I might have missed something. I probably did. Uh, I do notice that there is not yet a support area for a user to request support. That could be one thing. It looks like that does exist on the front end, but that does not exist in the back end, at least not quickly accessible. And I want to make sure that the product roadmap isn't visible to anybody but administrators. So my goal was to have this launched by 11 o'clock. And now that I'm noticing a couple of gaps, I will have to work on those things. I'm still going to launch this today, so I will hang out with you guys past 11. I don't have a hard stop, so hang out with me if you'd like. Hello, AOT TV. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate your comment. Uh, the bank app is definitely something that I'm excited about. I think that it is akin to this application that helps people write books. That one's a little bit more centered around starting businesses, getting an education, buying a house, and really simplifying the process for people, making them focus on helping them focus on just the one action they need to take. And I have had some, just because I work on these things in chunks, I've had some additional thinking about how to make that application better, how to improve the model, how to how to nudge the users in more effective ways so that it serves the purpose of actually helping them succeed at achieving their goals. I think that a lot of the foundation is good, but I think that there's a ton of opportunity to make it better. But I say that it's akin to this application because they're both designed to do the same thing: reduce friction, help users, give them tools to be able to speed up their workflows. And it's just that this one is very narrow in scope, whereas the other one is much broader in scope and has a lot more uh, life implications that we need to think through. So that application is one that's going to need some investment. Um, and we are seeking that investment. So I'm actively talking to investors about that. And hopefully we can secure that soon so that we're able to uh, move it forward. I do not have the resources personally to drive that forward. It's going to take a good bit. So let's see. Let me read this. Activity feed, recent actions, quick stats, getting started checklist for new user. Go ahead and add these additional sections to the dashboard. Separate them out into different sections if it makes sense. All right, so let me go over here into the plan and see. This plan is old. I'm realizing that it did not memorialize the launch plan that I wanted it to memorialize. So I will have to reprompt it with that here in just a minute. But what I'm going to do is I do need to do a security scan, but I can't do that while it is processing code. It has to be finished processing the code in order to run the latest scan and to clear those errors. Those are both likely outdated errors. I've been taking a look at those a couple times. And let's see. Once it finishes that, I want to just test out subscription here. All right. I'm going to just run this test off screen so that I can put in my payment information. All right, so that was successful. And I can see inside of billing, my plan didn't get updated. Let's see if the transaction went through. Okay, the transaction was successful. However, there were around, well, actually, let's see what the timing is on that. It looks like there were 4 incomplete attempts, and this has to do with the way that the code is firing to call to Stripe to load the payment form. And I'm just trying to think now how many times I might have loaded that screen in that minute. All right, let's see. It appears that there is a repeated subscription creation before the payment is processed on the form load, which is probably fine that the subscription's created because we need it to be created. But I don't understand why we have so many incomplete attempts when we haven't submitted the credit card form yet. The new What's New section leaves a giant white space on the right hand side. I want to come up with a better way to be able to do this. Maybe we can scroll left and right to be able to see what's new and have like a carousel or something. I'm not sure, but and I'm looking here at the billing section, and I'm not actually seeing the usage history, which I feel like we need to see. And I'm noticing that my plan still says free, even though my payment for my subscription was successful. So there was a problem in granting my subscription entitlements. I also kind of feel like this activity on the bottom is, I like this a lot, but I do also think that it's buried down here. So, I got to figure out what to do with that. I don't need this to be perfect to take it live. I just need people to have a good experience. Now, what I'm going to do so that I can properly test this out, I'm going to invite a quote unquote coach to this project so that I can test out a second subscription. Does this text convey accuracy in the way that our rules are set up for subscriptions? There was one other thing that I wanted to do, and that was I noticed that the emails that we're getting do not, they're not on brand. So I need to fix that problem. Okay. One thing I notice is that the emails that we have are not effectively branded for sound rewrite. The logo's missing, the fonts don't match, the colors in the email body are not correct. And I feel like we can do a little bit better of a job on this email explaining all the different primary features that Sound Rewrite offers so that a coach, an editor, a co-author wouldn't balk at the idea of using something like this. We want them to be excited by the features, not resist change. Okay, so I will go ahead and well, let me push the latest version of the app. A couple of issues with the dashboard. Number one, the what's new section is still only half the column and it should be the full width of the screen. Otherwise, we still have this giant gap on the right side that I told you about. The pending invitation section does not make any sense to me at all. I sent an invitation to a different email address. I sent the invitation to Melton plus coach at exponent21.com. So Melton at exponent21.com should not have the opportunity to accept that invitation. That is nonsensical. Further, there is a missing, there's no gap between the data cards and the pending invitations, and you still have not moved your writing card to the leftmost column as I have so kindly asked you to do. Can you please slow down, pay close attention to detail, acknowledge the business case of what we're trying to build here, and help me build great software? When I'm looking at the project team or the settings, and I click on book pitch, the UI defaults to the outline, and I have to click on book pitch a second time. That's undesired. It's an extra click, and it's not what I clicked on. It's frustrating. And what you just did to the dashboard caused the contents to spill over the edge. I have to scroll left and right to be able to see the entire dashboard. That is not responsive. That is not desired. The reason why we have a carousel is so that you scroll within the box, not the entire page back and forth. I need you to take extra care to not modify the user experience and the user interface that we have worked hard to build. You need to understand that layout changes have this impact. All right. I have a number of issues with the billing portal. First and foremost, it says that I'm paying $20 a month for my subscription. That is not accurate, as I purchased an annual subscription and I paid $192 for that. There is nowhere in here that shows me my transaction. I should see a transaction history. And I know that I ran an AI analysis yesterday, and it's showing 0 AI runs used. I know I'm an admin, but I am concerned that we're not tracking AI runs. And that will cause us to lose money if we're not controlling that aspect as well. I just told you about the need to prevent the scrolling left and right inside the UI of the dashboard. The contents of the dashboard are still cut off when my screen is minimized. It is not responsive. It is not containing itself within the viewport. You said that you did something to fix this, and you lied. Why did you not get it right the first time? I need you to explain that to me. I also need you to fix it, but I need an explanation. Well, if you're hanging out with me, this is not uncommon. Unfortunately, you can give AI explicit instructions, and AI will disobey you. It will tell you that it did something, and it likely did. It coded something somewhere, but it didn't roll that up to the front end as I expect. So I have to learn a little bit more about what it did, what it didn't do. So this overflow hidden to the main content wrapper so the carousel scrolls internally without causing page level horizontal scrolling. Okay, well, obviously overflow hidden didn't do enough for us. All right, I'm going to go back into the dashboard here, just check a couple of things. Click in here, click into the settings, click into the book pitch. Okay, click in the outline. All right, that works. Good. So, as it stands, you could sign up for this application and use it, and it would work for you. It would be functional, it would help you finish your book. I'm going to keep working to make this all a really good experience in every way. We won't be set back. I notice that the what's new cards are truncated. The text is truncated when there's plenty of space to display what those are. I also should be able to click on those to open them up and see more details if, in fact, they are in need of truncation. I want to eliminate the container that contains what's new. The cards are sufficient containers as far as I'm concerned.
It's 11 o'clock.
All right, there's my hour mark. We're not quite there yet, but we're sort of there. So it's doing a lot of thinking, reading, querying, analyzing. It's not changing anything yet, so it's stumped. I don't know. When this happens, I'm not quite sure if it's actually doing more work or if it's just stuck and the computer is waiting for its turn in line. Not enough resources are available. It's not quite clear to me, but they do. generally get unstuck at some point. Maybe if you are somebody at Lovable, you can explain this to me, what is happening when it just seems to think endlessly. We're just sitting here waiting, waiting on you, Lovable. Okay, well, while we wait for that, I'm going to click around. I noticed that the guided tour on the dashboard does not move around the way that it does whenever we're looking at the workspace. And it doesn't illuminate the different elements that are available in the proper way. Um, we want it to be a seamless experience for people. And I also feel like the guided tour of the dashboard is lacking as it stands. We do not yet have all of the elements covered here. I also feel like as I look at this, if I accumulate a lot of projects, it's going to be cumbersome to have them all on the dashboard. So I'm thinking that maybe the dashboard can be reconfigured so that we show some of these writing activity and recent activity higher up. We show some of the projects down below, and then we add a new all projects or projects navigation item on the left where we can allow authors to organize their work into folders and see it all in one place. Hey, Michael. Thanks for joining me. I'm trying, I wouldn't say desperately, but I'm trying hard to get this app uh, launched today. And I keep finding little nuggets of things that I want to do, but we are active, we are live, we are stuck in a holding pattern right now where it's thinking endlessly. And I might have to, oh, wait, it's editing finally. Ah, but I did ask for a lot, so I can appreciate that. So anyway, we're pushing this live today. A couple of things that we have done. We now have on the dashboard a few different things. We've got a sample book here that anybody can listen to uh, so that they can get an experience for what this is all about. And they can actually learn how this tool will help them, encourage users to get involved with this and use it. Okay. Looks like that was fixed anyway, so that's cool. We're back into having our dashboard contained. I don't have to scroll left and right to make that work. I'm going to just click into my, yeah, that's right, that's right, that's right. I'm going to have to do something to mobile to make this a little bit better, but right now I think it's okay. But I'm getting to the finish line here. Getting to the finish line. Got some folks trying to drop some promos on me here in the chat. Nice effort. I might be having some problems with my stream. I could be wrong about that, but I do think that we are live. If you're joining me for the first time, I'm going to look at this and see if I can see myself. Yeah, I'm there. So studio.willmelton.com is where you can track my journey while I build 52 apps in 2026. Every one of them has a clear purpose, and I am setting off on this challenge for no particular reason. I am just a builder. I like to build things. I have fun building things, and yeah, this is good. I like that. Proceed with the other changes that I asked about. I want to resume our launch plan. Since I have generated all of the audio for the 2 sample books, I want to go ahead and bake those audio files into the sample distribution function so that when new users distribute a sample, everything is there. Now, I also want those samples to exist in their dashboard when they log in. I don't want them to have to add those. It should just be there. I want to bake all of the settings in the project details and the pitch and everything else for both samples so that it all comes over. And then I want you to continue to execute on the tasks that are required to help us get to completion. One of the things that I'm noticing here is it's doing the dashboard tour in the improper order because it's going to move the dashboard layout in a second. And I'm hoping that it will leverage the proper intelligence to know that it's moved, but I can't be certain that that's the case. I want to add a little bit of context above the cards, the data cards. Above the what's new section, it says what's new. Maybe we say your stats or something like that above this section, just to give it a little bit of separation. We also have your projects above your projects, so that's desired. I want to add the navigation menu that we're using on the front end of the website into the dashboard view and have it to the right of the notifications icon. And I want to check on in-app notifications to see if those have been wired up. Are we sending in-app notifications to existing users when they get invitations to books? Are we sending notifications to users about the completion of a audio conversion? Are we sending notifications when users exceed their writing goal, when they get to completion on their pitch, celebrating them, giving them some nudges in that way? Any other notifications that would make sense? Billing notifications would make sense. Uh, Credit balance uh, threshold alerts whenever they get down below a certain amount. There's always something. There's always something. So what I'm going to do here is please outline the remaining go live steps that we need to execute on in order for us to actually take this live and announce it to the world. All right. I'm going to come back in here to my dashboard. I'm going to go to one of these projects and just test out the invitation feature once more. Delete this guy. We'll add him back in there. Plus coach and we'll say that that is the coach. Full edit. Send invite. A couple of things on the email. The logo has a lag in load time, and it's not properly arranged to the left of the sound rewrite name. And the other thing is, I don't really like emojis, so I want to use SVG icons or bullets in place of the emojis that you have there. Okay, I'm just going to show you guys what I see over here. So this is, I've accepted as the coach this project. I've created my account, and I'm able to see from survival to significance. And I can take a look over here and see the project team. I should be able to see the author, so that's something that I want to make sure that we go back to. Um, but let me just see here. I'll just come back and just give it a quick bit of feedback. Whenever a collaborator is viewing their projects, projects that they've been invited into need to have the project owner labeled on the actual project card. And when you click into it, I can see the project team, but it's only showing me the collaborators. It's not showing me the owner, which would be appropriate. All right, so we're getting close here. I'm going to go take a look at the launch plan and see what we've got. We verified the transactions. We have, I want to go back into my account here and see what my billing looks like. You still have not fixed my billing. I'm still seeing my $20 a month subscription when I have an annual subscription that I paid $192 for. I still do not see transaction history when I should see transaction history. I have explicitly asked for these integrations, and you have failed to deliver on your promises yet again. Okay. One of the problems that I have is that I move too fast, and so I don't always verify everything. So I discover later on that it either gave me a plan that I didn't tell it to execute on, or it uh, did not do what I asked it to do. I don't know what the cause is. I don't spend a lot of time going back to try to figure that out. I just want to keep moving and make sure that we are building what we're trying to build here. So let me just keep reading this. All right. So the collaboration flow test, I did that. Security scan, we'll do that here in a minute. There's some changes that I want to make to the privacy policy and the terms of service. And then I do have the sharing image that I want to update that got generated by AI yesterday, and it's not what I want. So I need to update that. I have already updated the domain and DNS, so that's fine. I've already tested the email deliverability, and that is fine. So I think once I fix these last couple of things, I will do a security scan, and I think we'll wrap this live stream up. I think so. This is not going to reflect quite yet the changes that we just made. And I noticed that I don't have my samples in here yet because I haven't published the latest. I have one sample, and this was working before. So what I'll do here in a minute is create a new account just from scratch after I publish this latest version, and I'll test it on the front end while we do the security scan. right, so if you're hanging out with me still, if you're joining me late on today's stream, I was going to just recap something I shared earlier. In the coming days, I'm going to update studio.willmelton.com to also have affiliate functionality. And so, what that's going to do is you already have the ability to get paid a fee for connecting us to investors and buyers, but each of these apps that have a revenue pathway will also be a part of an affiliate program. So you'll be able to send folks our way to record in our studio and get a payout for that. You'll be able to send people to sound rewrite, and those subscriptions will have a bounty on them that you'll be able to get through our affiliate program. So just finding more ways to make it easy for you to participate in what I'm building. And if you think somebody's a good fit as a user for one of these things, we want you to be rewarded for telling them about it. It makes my job a little bit easier in building up audiences and making these things viable businesses. And I think that it just helps to convey to the community and anybody who's watching that you yourself can start a business from scratch, leveraging these tools. You don't have to know it all to start. You will hit roadblocks. You will have to answer questions about things you don't know, and you'll have to learn things that you don't know in order to answer those questions. But that is not a reason not to start. You have the tools today. It is not expensive to build. All you really need is a problem and the willingness to suss out a solution and begin to ideate around what a potential application could be that carries people to that. So, studio.willmelton.com. Follow the journey. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't yet. That helps me a lot. Follow me on LinkedIn. Follow me on Twitch if you're over there. There's other cleanup steps that I can prompt for, like just asking Lovable to scan over the code and look and see if there's any legacy code that can be eliminated or cut out, anything that might cause confusion, any kind of code messiness that we want to clean. Those usually yield some kind of fruit. But also, if you don't have any problems, there's no need to jump through hoops to find them. I think the security scan is going to be the biggest thing that is most important for us as we go live with this today. We want to make sure that we protect our users and their information, their books, their proprietary information. Not quite sure why the billing summary endpoint is taking so long to build, but I'll be patient. While I am waiting for this to happen, I'm going to go pour myself another coffee, so hang tight. I'll be right back. I have an espresso machine, so it's going to take a couple of steps to get there. Let's see, it says it's still working here. Transaction history, no transactions found. I would like to only show paid and failed transactions in the transaction history. It's confusing to show all of these unpaid invoices that are generated because of subscriptions, and I don't want to confuse people or have them be double charged. Okay, starting to feel like we're getting there. Cool. All right. Let's do our security scan. I'm going to go ahead and let that happen. These security scans will be outdated just as soon as you do another change to the application. So just keep that in mind. You have some understanding as to whether or not what you created is something that might have security implications. But until you do that security scan again, it's not going to clear you. You will be able to push the app. So keep that in mind. Lovable does a good job at sending you emails when you have applications that are lacking security. So it will give you a heads up whenever those things are happening. Now, it just did this whole thing, it's updating, but I can't click this try to fix all for free. I can expand these and I can prompt this to actually fix these things. Um, but I want this try to fix all free to work. And it says I need to update the scan first for that to happen. So we're going to do a second scan, even though it did it already. Again, lovable if you're listening. Not great user experience to have to push that button a second time when it just told me it was already scanning. If you haven't been following along, I obsess over user experience design. It is the reason that my company is successful. Uh, it is the reason my clients are successful. And it is a huge, huge component today. If you think back about, the last 25 years or so, we've all been using different software tools and longer than that. But there's been this massive evolution. We've gone, technologically all over the place. But today, users have been treated with great user experiences across applications, and that has generated an expectation of great user experiences. Users will outright reject a negative user experience, a friction oriented experience. And so I don't want to put this application to market only to find out that people don't want to use it or that there's some kind of friction that prevents people from using it. So just so you know, if you do use Lovable, every 25 prompts gets you 5 extra credits. And if you're assigned to multiple accounts, you can distribute those how you wish. I tend to distribute mine to AI Ready RVA because we do have some needs over there. It's nice to have a little extra. And all of our errors are passed. Now, here's one thing that you're going to see if you're using Lovable Cloud. Lovable Cloud is using Supabase, but you are not in control of the Supabase interface. So when you do these security scans and you see leak password protection disabled, well, I can't turn that on because I don't have access to Lovable, or sorry, to Supabase. And so I would try to fix this and it'll tell me, no, sorry, can't do it. Um, and so this is something that they're going to have to figure out how to solve for. I want to enhance the security of our site since people will be adding their got distracted there. Okay, working on just getting a couple of security items buttoned up here before we go. Take a look at this. This says this before I believe was outdated, but now it's telling me that it's here. So let's see. So, okay, good. It's still doing what I told it to do initially. Cloud dashboard auth settings. Give folks a couple more options for signing in here. I don't have anything looped into to turn on telephone notifications. You need to have a provider for that, so I'm going to leave that out for now. I don't want to slow down the process of getting live here. But we're finalizing a couple of security issues that we found since we have added a couple more things to this in the last day. And I'm about to hit publish and invite you folks into the application so that you can play with it. You can sign up now actually and use it, but it is just the latest build hasn't been pushed up there yet. So a couple of features that you might have seen me build here today are not quite done, but they will be momentarily. If you live here in Richmond, had the opportunity yesterday to visit the Valentine Museum, and This is a poster that Studio 23 did in memory of Bill Martin. There was a memorial celebration of life there, open house, and there's a lot of joyful people, a lot of great messages posted on the board. Will be sadly missed, sorely missed, and amazing how many people showed up to pay tribute and respect his memory. All right, I've got my fuel here so we can actually get to the finish point. Gotta have that coffee. All right. All right, so while I wait for this to finalize, let's take a look at analytics here and see what we've got. Looks like there have been some active users. I don't know if that's all one person or if it's, no, looks like we've got some visitors from Europe. How cool is that? Some folks from Council Bluffs. Never heard of that place before. Can't tell if that's in Nebraska, Iowa. If you're from Council Bluffs and you're watching, let me know what you think about sound rewrite. Here's the other thing I want to know. Where did the traffic come from? Not enough data yet to know. Let me just take a look at see if we have any. Not a lot of engagement here, so some of these could be bots. This one user is probably me. But let's see where we're at. Okay. Configuring Apple sign-in for users. And that's our last piece. We're going to push this live in just a minute, and you guys can hang out with me and celebrate. I want to add one finishing touch, and that is a complete book button. There's going to come a point in time where an author decides that they're done, and we want to celebrate with them. We want to show that their book is completed, not just the pitch, but that they have said that they're finished. And I would like to have this application shoot confetti on the screen when they hit that button. If everything is work, we'll never do anything. We got to find the space for play. And I think that celebrating is important. How we do that in subtle ways to make it easy for people to recognize their accomplishments, I think, is worthwhile to integrate. So I've got one little piece here that we'll be able to experience in just a moment. And I will hit the publish button immediately after that. I am not delaying intentionally. I just thought to myself, what am I going to do to celebrate the finalization of Sound Rewrite? Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go build my affiliate program so that you can help me get this out there. I've been reusing some soundtracks that I have created in the past couple of weeks because I have not had time to go and find new music. And I found that some of the tracks that I've sourced, I don't listen to all of them, and they might get a little loud on you. So I don't want to interfere with your ability to hear me. But I do like to have this music in the background. Helps me to just vibe out with you guys. So if you are somebody from Lovable, maybe you should tell me about your affiliate program if you have one. If you don't, perhaps you want to extend some kind of promotional offer through me. I'm happy to play a role in that. I think anything we can do to get people playing and creating and using this tool to build their own stuff, I think is a good thing. I'm happy to help facilitate that. Here we go, guys. Just check to see that this updated error is. I know that we fixed this before, so I'm going to close and publish. I will do one final scan in a moment, but this is the moment that we are going fully live. How exciting. Now, I want to test a couple of things now that we have taken this live. Um, and so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first and foremost check and see why. Okay, my sitemap did get submitted. There are 39 pages. That's great news. It's probably part of the reason why I'm starting to get some traffic. But I want to sign out and let me just see if I can see the menu because I should see the menu over here. Sign out. Okay, good. So what I want to do is create a new account. So I'm going to create a new account here and say test plus test.com. It says my password should be 68 characters. Let me go fix that really quickly. Oh, that's too funny. All right. I'm going to make a couple of tweaks here because I can see that the getting started is cramping the style of what's new. Getting started is cramping the style of what's new. There needs to be a little bit of space above what's new in between the getting started box. And I can see at the outset that the two sample books that I should have gotten as a new user did not populate as expected. One of the sample books did populate, uh, but it does not have a book pitch, even though I told you that the book pitch needs to be populated for these samples. I also can see that no audio has been appended to the book pitch or to the book outline, even though I told you that we had transcribed or we had transmuted, whatever the word is, chapter 1 for this sample, and I don't see any audio files there. And the last problem that I have is that you were supposed to deploy the second sample book that I instructed you to deploy for new users, and that is not there either. So you have not completed the work. This is why we test. And if you're joining me here late in the game, studio.willmelton.com is where you can follow my journey to build 52 apps in 2026. Somebody asked me yesterday if that was because a deck of cards has 52 cards in it. And I said, no, it's one app for every week of the year. But who knows? Maybe when I finish all these apps, I'll make a card deck that has each of the apps in it just for fun. Just because there's no reason to not go extra, right? Check out soundrewrite.com. You have the ability to come in here and create a free account where you can upload a portion of your manuscripts and begin to organize it and analyze it and edit it and convert it to speech and be able to listen back to your book. I'm fixing a couple of things with my sample books that you will have access to so that you can actually listen to the quality of the voices that we've brought into this application so that you can see that it's a pleasure to listen. And I will have to test this again once more so that I can make sure that I want to make sure that everybody's experience is whole. I can tell that the sample project creation is following the same logic when I created it because the genre hasn't been updated with the latest from this. And perhaps Gift of the Magi didn't have a book pitch to begin with. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix something now. Since we added the complete book button, there is some excessive crowding in the top bar inside the dashboard. What I want to do is make it so that the words are not there, but you just see the icons. And when you hover over the icon, perhaps it expands to reveal the words and become a full button with the text, but when not hovered. No, we'll just do the popovers. I don't know. Do what you think is best. Okay, so what I want to do is let that happen. I'm going to publish this current version that we have, and then I'm going to refresh this to see if I can deploy a sample and see the audio that's supposed to be there. We'll get that navigation problem sorted out. But I'm sitting here looking at the clock and I'm realizing we're coming up on 2 hours together today. You can really get in the zone with this stuff. All right, let's give this a refresh. Deploy this sample. That looks right. Okay. Let's make sure that the proper book title is present for the sample deployment function. I'm pretty sure this error is outdated. I don't know why it continues to persist here when we've resolved it. I think what's happening is that it's flagging something that it's seeing that would normally cause a security error, but when it checks it, it determines that it's not actually a security error. But whatever it is that's flagging this in the first place is causing it to persist, to come up again, and it'll clear itself. We've already resolved both of these issues, so I don't know why they continue to get flagged. There might be some outdated code that we need to clear out of the system that we're not using. Not quite sure. But I think that we're where we need to be, guys. A very small change there was the last push, but come hang out with me again tomorrow at 5:30. I'm going to be covering Discover AIO, which is a community for AI optimizers, people who are looking to get their website and their brand to show up in AI whenever you ask a question that's related to that. We launched that at the beginning of the year. We worked on it for a few months at the end of last year. It's a fairly robust community application, and I can show you the behind the scenes on it, give you a scoop on how we're creating value for our users over there. So that's a wrap for today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Once again, this is Vibe Coding Live with Will Melton, and I am going to be here again with you next week at 1 p.m. on Saturday and 10 a.m. on Sunday. So keep following me, and if you haven't yet, subscribe on YouTube. That helps me out a lot. It helps me to get in front of more people. And follow me on LinkedIn and Twitch if you don't already. See you here again tomorrow. Thanks so much.